Welcome back, everybody. Lesson 4 of Pro Tools 10, beginner lessons for the Windows user. We've now imported our first stereo track into our timeline, and we've done a little bit of playing back, and things are going quite well. So we've placed the track at the beginning of our session, but we may find that we'd like to move it around. So we can simply use the multi-select tool here, and for that you have to make sure that this little blue bar selecting these 3 icons is selected, right, rather than just one. We want to make sure they're all 3 selected. So if you just click on any single icon, that will be highlighted, but we want all 3. And what that allows us to do is simply move the cursor on different parts of the track, and it will change function, right, from select to the little grabber hand. Very, very handy. Allows us to do things very quickly. So we're going to take our track with the little grabby hand and move it over 1 bar. And you can see that it's snapping nicely to bar 2. And in case yours isn't, it could be due to the fact that your grid setting is not the same as mine. So right now we have a grid setting of 1/4 note, which is the grid markings that we're seeing there. Each light gray line is a 1/4 note, and each solid blue line is a bar. So that's 4 1/4 notes. We can simply move it around beat by beat, or if we prefer, maybe bar by bar. We'll set that to bar by the little grid setting here. And let's grab it, and you can see it snaps nicely to the beginning of each bar. But let's go back to the 1/4 note. That gives us enough resolution to work with right now. We'll get back to the beginning of the timeline. For instance, you may be working and you may discover that you do not want it to snap to a timeline. You may be trying to place something specifically outside of the beat. In that case, you'd want to enable slip mode, and you just simply slide your sound file into place, and then you can reactivate the grid mode. And let's get that back. All right, let's take a look at our our mix window. We'll flip back using the shortcut, which is Control and the equal sign together. And let's create one more type of track. All right. Go to the track menu and new, and we're going to create a stereo master fader and hit create. All right, so let's do a little playback test here. Hit your space bar. Cool. And you'll see that the track, the 3rd track down, which if we take a look at the edit window, there we go. Track 1 is here, track 2 is here, track 3 is here. Does indeed play back through the 3rd track here. After coming out the 3rd track, it now goes into our master fader strip. The master fader strip allows us to adjust the overall level of all tracks that we're hearing. So if we bring the fader down and hit play, we find we can lower the volume and work comfortably if things start to get loud as we're adding tracks. This will also prevent us from clipping the output bus. So it's good to know if we're hitting reds anywhere, we can always back off, not anywhere, sorry. If we're hitting reds on the output bus, we can always bring down our master fader a touch just to keep things from clipping there. So now we're going to use our shortcut that we learned in a previous lesson, which is Alt, hold down Alt and click on the fader, and that pops it right back up to 0 dB. Very, very nice. We're going to use that Alt trick again by disabling the input. Here, I/O, we have our input and output settings for each strip. And since we're not doing any recording in this lesson, we're going to set the inputs to no input. But we could go and set each one by one to no input. But let's take a little shortcut. We're going to hold down the Alt key as we press the input and select no input. And that sets the entire mixer to no input all at once, nice and easy. All right, well, there we go for lesson 4. We're going to save up, Control S, don't forget that. And we'll be back very, very shortly with lesson 5.